Yo, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing? Welcome to a brand new video, and today I wanted to talk about Paladins eSports and just a couple of things like that. But so for a lot of you guys that know, I am in a team called Guile eSports, or a organization called Guile eSports, or an esports team, or whatever you guys call them. I do play professionally for the team. Now, I guess that technically makes, like, technically I am stinged as a professional player, or a pro player as people call it. Even though I wouldn't call myself on the level of someone like Swiper or Good Lad or something like that, I definitely still better than the majority of your people that play this game. That's all I'm gonna say. I am on one of the leading teams on PS4 EU side, anyways. We're like the Fed or second best team in the EU or something like that. Anyway, I think it's Fed. So yeah, we're pretty a big deal in the EU side of things. We do destroy things on PS4 pretty badly. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about it and what it's like to be in scrims for people that don't know, because a lot of people play competitive and they think that's how it's gonna, like, that's how professional players play, and it really isn't. It's so much more in depth. Like, when you play a scrim compared to just playing competitive casually, like if you play casuals and then you play competitive, you think, oh my god, it's so tense, you gotta be laser focused. Try playing like that, but 10 times better, and then having to call out every single thing you see, having to just, you know, play at your very best, and then that's a scrim for you. And then if you're in a fucking tournament, you have to play at 100%. And oh my god, let me tell you, I've only played in like one tournament match, and it was stressful. It was really stressful. I had to really try. But yeah, it's very stressful. Being a professional player, whenever you are playing in scrims and stuff. I don't really play in much of the scrims now, just because my team's like, it's got a good couple of subs now, so I don't usually play. I usually just make videos and things, but I am there in case anybody needs me. I think I was actually meant to be playing a scrim today, but I don't think it's happening now that I think about it. But yeah, so apart from that, it's quite a sticky, like, hard situation, really. It's like, playing professionally on this game, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but it has its downsides as well, because to play professionally you have to constantly play the new champions, not the new champions, the meta champions. You can't really explore and have a bit of fun, which, as you guys know, I love to do. I love to do challenges and shit like that. It's kind of like my main thing that I do on this channel at the moment. I love doing it. But yeah, so I do have to play a lot of just play meta champions and stuff like that. It's where my love for Genos came. Apart from, like, when he was first announced, I did love him then. But then I started playing him professionally because he was like one of the best healers, and yeah, I thought he was actually amazing. So yeah, it is a bit of a hard one, because you don't really get as much freedom as you want. But don't get me wrong, you still can do, like, a lot of things. You can still play, like, any champs you want, especially if you're just playing casually and you're not practicing. Which, again, I don't do a lot of. I don't really play with much of the team, to be honest. I should probably do that a little bit more. It's just YouTube right now. I'm just grinding the fuck out of YouTube, so I don't really have time for it. Oh my god, Kness is having a spaz attack or something, but hey, it's whatever. So yeah, things when played professionally at Paladins they're very confusing. Like, you have to constantly try, you have to constantly play at 100%. If you run into people that recognize you, they sweat you out, and I swear it's the most annoying thing in the world, especially if I'm also running a YouTube channel as well. Oh, it's the most stressful thing ever, coming up against people that recognize me, because they literally focus me the entire game. It is like the worst thing in the world. It's so aggravating, so what's the word? Triggering. It's unreal. It gets me livid when someone fucking does that. Like, you've probably heard me when I've done streams and things, that I rage when someone on the enemy team that I know and watches my videos is after me 24/7. It seriously aggravates the bugger out of me. But yeah, so playing with people that I recognize, playing against other pros and stuff, don't get me wrong, it's fun. It is so much fun to play at such a high level. Like, if you guys ever get the chance to be a part of a team and actually play the game professionally, do it, because it is one of the best decisions I've ever made to join this team and to play it professionally, because it is so fun. like when you get in scrims and stuff. And there's nothing more satisfying than playing as a five-man team against another 5-man team and just simply outplaying them. Like I've uploaded quite a bit of scrims now on this channel, and they've all done pretty well. And they're just, you know, they're good games that we have, and like you can see that our coordination is on point. That's another thing, you have to be on point with your coordination. You have to call out everything. Like if there's people on the left flank and no one's noticed it, you call that shit out. You know what I mean? You call it straight away. Even if people have noticed it, you call it just to make sure. You focus one target, you get it out on the way. Most of the time you got to know the targets to pick for, the fights to go for. Like your whole perspective on the game changes. You go from being like, if you play a casual player, you go from, like, say you'd see like a Bomb King and then a Ceres, and the Ceres is a little bit further behind. You'd go for the Bomb King first, get the Bomb King out of the way. That's how most people would go get the closest one. But when you play it professional, you understand how important that Ceres behind him is. Because you get the Bomb King low, the Ceres goes, oh no, sorry bro, heals the Bomb King, full health, he kills you. So you kill the Ceres first, that or she shadow travels, and then she's out of the game for a little bit. You know what I mean? Therefore you have a couple of seconds to kill the Bomb King, and then focus the Ceres when she comes out of her shadow travel, or if she's not already dead. So, you know what I'm saying? Like your whole playstyle, everything changes for the better as well. You become better as a player. Playing with teammates, you become better as a team player. You become better. Like when I first started playing in scrims and things, it was really hard because I wasn't used to the coordination. I wasn't like, I played with Nat, but that was like my extent of expertise. Me and Nat were but me and Nat's chemistry is just because we've been mates for so long, we know how each other thinks anyway, so we didn't really need to call it out. But when I got into a team with a bunch of people I didn't know that Nat introduced me to, I couldn't, you know what I mean? I found it hard to realize what they were going to do, to know what they were going to do, how they play and stuff like that. So calling out is an essential thing. So if you ever get into a team, you need to focus working on your call outs, because it's a big part. It's a key thing you need to focus on, really. It does a lot of work. It does better than you know. But yeah, there's loads really when it comes to esports. You got to be able to play pretty much every champion, because every champion has a certain counter. Like Willow, for example, she's never really picked in scrims, but if a Grok is pulled out, a Grok and Ara, Willow is pulled out 100%. You know what I mean? Willow is pulled out because Willow just destroys Groks. You just throw the healing on the totem area, and then throw your seedlings, and oh, look at that, Grok's healing is rendered useless completely 100%. So it's you know, it's you gotta learn to play every single champ pretty much, and it can be a stressful task memorizing each moveset and how to play it, and having a different playstyle for every single champion. Like with some champions you play aggressive, some champions you have to play defensive, because if you play aggressive you are just going to get messed up in every single one. Like Kinessa, I've been playing a lot of Kinessa recently, and I used to, because I was a very aggressive player, I used to just straight up get in their face and like try quick scope them like it was FaZe Clan or something. And now that I'm actually playing Kinessa and I've had a couple of tips from Nat, I'm a great Kinessa now. Like I've been practicing my Kinessa. I'm fucking amazing with her right now. Like my shot is insane. And I play more defensive than I do aggressive now on Kinessa, because that's just the way you play it. You chill back, you take time with your aim, and then that's it. You get maybe a quad right there. Simple. You gotta. It's about patience and taking the time to learn each and individual every champion. Like every champion you can play differently, and you can play it differently effectively. Like if you have more than one play style in a competitive scene, that is very, very good, because people can't review how you play and analyze how you play, and then they just go, yeah, that's how he plays on every single champion. If you play 24/7 aggressive, then people are going to know to play defensive every single time against you, and most of the time win the fight. So if you change your playstyle for every single champion that you use, a different champion, it completely throws people off. That's why you've got to learn to play every single champion in a different playstyle on a competitive scene, because it is like that. If you can play a certain champion in a different playstyle to a different champion, you've got a huge advantage, because they won't know how to read you correctly, because you know, you're playing, 1 minute you're playing the most aggressive champion in the world, say like Xin, and you're in their face 24/7 getting like quad feeds, and they can't deal with you, so they go into the more defensive champions, and then you go into defensive champion as well, and they're like, holy shit, he's just not pushing, and then he gets shot in the face by a Kinessa, you know what I mean? Or they try go into another aggression to try counter out your aggression, therefore you're always having two people counter aggress each other. And if you go defensive, you know what I mean, if you go back into that defensive, they're gonna be like, fuck, what do we do here? You know what I mean? It's how you it's just how you go into certain situations, how you play the game, how you change your play style and everything. It's a really hard thing to do, don't get me wrong. I've been playing this game for I think I've got like 32 days or 33 days played, which is like a total of like 300 plus hours or some shit like that, which is a lot, don't get me wrong. And I'm still learning to play some certain champions differently. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to play Ceres properly. I'm still trying to figure out how to play Ying properly. I thought I had Ying on lock, but apparently now that I watched my footage back on a couple of videos, there's a couple of things I could change. That's another thing, you have to review your own gameplays. So if you're playing on like PS4 or something like that, you can just share facts of your own, or just, you know, like save clip of like your previous game. If you played like a scrim and you're not a YouTuber, say like me, I just upload them if they're good videos. Like, obviously I have to review them to upload them. But if you're in a team and you play scrims, as soon as you've done playing the scrim, the game's over, save it as a clip and then watch it back, and be open to admitting that you can make mistakes. Because if you go into it and going, yeah, I'm the perfect player, everything I do it's perfect, you know what I mean, I can't be a bad player, it's physically impossible, then it's gonna demotivate you to the point where when you lose, you don't want to play the game anymore, because you feel like you've got everything wrong. So if you go into it with an open mind, accepting, willing to know that you'll have made mistakes, because everyone does. I've gone into a scrim thinking I did absolutely fine, watch the footage back and be like, oh my god, my callouts were horrible, and we could have killed that person twice as fast if I would have just called it out. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta you make mistakes to learn, and if you do that and you recognize that, then they become pros, and they become pros out of the cons, and you become better as a player and as a team member, because that is again building like your team chemistry in a way, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely a hard thing to get into, to be a professional player, or quote unquote a professional player. But yeah, if you guys are definitely willing to try it, then go for it, because it is a fun experience. It's a hard one, but it's a fun one. But yeah, this video's gone on for 12 minutes, holy damn. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, then go ahead, leave a like and stuff. We are so close. We are 39 subscribers away from 800. If we could get 800 within like the next 2 weeks or something, that would be absolutely dope. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos at the moment. I think you are, because of just the mad support on them at the moment. But yeah, so if you guys enjoy, like, subscribe and stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.